All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford, Jaron Ennis, and Danny Garcia, and some things that were said by Team Crawford that I absolutely loved. But let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to talk about the welterweight division and some of the best fighters in the entire world, Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis. For this conversation, we're going to leave Errol Spence out of it and bring in Danny Garcia because Terence Crawford team said some things that I thought were very, very enlightening to me. But before I get into that, let me first say welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for continuing to support the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I hope you accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and select all notifications so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also make sure you guys, if you wager on sports, to check us at busr.ag/Fanon. Use the promotional code Fanon, and we're constantly running promotions over there that will increase your betting, the value of your betting dollar. So let's get into this. Terence Crawford has been getting more and more pressure to fight a young guy that is coming up in the welterweight division named Jaron Boots Ennis out of the great fighting city of Philadelphia. My point of view on Terence Crawford, and I've said this repeatedly despite the many people that call me a Terence Crawford hater, is that Terence Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I have him over Canelo Alvarez in that regard. I have him over Errol Spence Jr. in that regard for a number of reasons. If in the comment section you want to ask me about why, and I see your comment, I have no problem explaining it to you there. But in short, I think that he is the best well-rounded fighter in all of boxing when you look at the 4 scoring criteria of boxing. However, you know how things work as time. The only thing consistent in this world is change. And when you are the top fighter now, other people are getting better. While you are getting better or plateauing or on the decline, there's always somebody behind you. So we're always on the lookout for the next really big, and talented fighter coming up. And fortunately for Terence Crawford, or unfortunately for Terence Crawford, depending on how everything plays out, the guy that I think and many other people think is that guy coming up is Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is somebody that has, again, very, very well-rounded fighter, excellent defense, excellent ring generalship, very clean and effective punching, and is and has excellent effective aggression. Not ineffective aggression where you're just throwing a lot of shots all over the place, missing shots, having people slip your shots, and then having the commentator talk about how you look more active when you're not landing anything. I'm talking about legitimate aggression, effective aggression, where he is going at the guy and the shots that he's throwing by and large are landing. The guy's defense is not getting him off the hook, right? He's being able to get the guy where he wants him in the ring and do the things that he wants to do. Definitely a guy that when you look at everything he can do has the potential to be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So logically, there's a lot of people asking about what Terence Crawford is. Will Terence Crawford fight Jaron Ennis? Jaron Ennis is, for the foreseeable future, going to be in the same weight class as Terence Crawford. Even if Terence Crawford fights Errol Spence Jr. first, which I certainly hope is the case. I'm hoping that we get the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford fight next. But even if it happens, cool. Jaron Ennis is still going to be there. If it doesn't happen, Jaron Ennis is there, right? So Bernie the Boxer, who I have a lot of respect for, and sometimes, I don't know if he watches my videos anymore, used to not be the biggest fan of mine, but it is what it is. I definitely respect him and respect his insight in what's coming out of the Crawford camp. Was saying, look, man, Terence Crawford is constantly asked what he would, if he's going to fight Jaron Ennis or whatever, right? But the question is not whether or not Jaron Ennis Terence Crawford will fight Jaron Ennis, but whether or not Jaron Ennis really wants it with Terence Crawford or not. Terence Crawford will fight anybody. You know, I think he said Lottie Dottie, something like that. Lottie Dottie, we came to party. I think that's the statement. Age showed his age a little bit there with the Lottie Dottie. But I think that's Slick Rick, Lottie Dottie, we came to party, whatever. But anyway, Lottie Dottie, he's willing to fight anybody. And Jaron Ennis is that guy as well. Right? I mean, you know, Jaron Ennis is somebody he's willing to fight as well. But then they say, hey, he says, hold on, man, but I saw a picture of Jaron Ennis with Danny Garcia. Maybe what you should do is, you know, fight Danny Garcia. Because Danny Garcia is a welterweight and Danny Garcia is a really big name. And, you know, he said he know that Danny Garcia and Jaron Ennis are both from Philadelphia. They both know each other. And what better way to get on than to have a fight between two Philadelphia fighters, Jaron Ennis and Danny Garcia. And my initial thoughts on that is like, yeah, absolutely. I think that would probably be a very, very good plan, is to have Jaron Ennis fight Danny Garcia. He fits all of as far as when people say, you know, I want to wait on Jaron Ennis to prove himself, see what he can do. Man, Danny Garcia is that dude, right? And it is something that would absolutely positively sell. It would be a big fight, and it would be a test for Jaron Ennis. If Jaron Ennis was able to do to Danny Garcia what he did to somebody like Sergey Lipinets, quite honestly, I think that might be scary. Because nobody's ever beaten Danny Garcia in the fashion that, you know, we are accustomed to seeing Jaron Ennis beat other people. And being an extremely skilled fighter, an extremely experienced champion in Danny Garcia, and Danny only having lost to world champions, top level welterweights, I do think that he is the perfect, you know, I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, because I think Danny Garcia still has the ability to win a world championship. But if you do say that, you know, he's one of the old, just like I described earlier in the video, one of the guys that are, you know, getting a little bit older in age and having young guys come up, right? He would be perfect. He would be the perfect guy for Jaron Ennis. Now, will that fight actually happen? You know, I don't think so, man. Because, you know, that's probably not something that Danny Garcia wants at this point in time. I would suspect that Danny Garcia is looking to get a rematch with Keith Thurman. He's looking to get a fight. He's looking to get I haven't even heard Danny Garcia say that he's looking for a fight with Terence Crawford. So I'm not sure whether or not, you know, Danny Garcia would be willing to throw himself out there like that against a guy like Jaron Ennis, unless he knew that there was a significant amount of money in that fight. So, you know, Jaron Ennis, if he's going to get a step-up fight and not get his mandatory fights that he's in line for, I don't really know if Danny Garcia would be willing to take that on. But the idea of it, I like a lot. It seems like it fits the bill. You know, those guys both have a history of fighting on. They both have a history of fighting on Showtime, fighting on PBC cards. Now, I know Jaron Ennis is not signed to the PBC, but he just recently signed to Showtime, the network, and Showtime cards are primarily PBC cards. As a matter of fact, I think they're exclusively PBC cards, with the exception of, you know, the Bellator fights that go on in the combat sports arena. But I like it a lot, man. Now, Jaron Ennis himself, as far as what they said about him not being ready or not being ready to go, that I don't buy. I think Jaron Ennis would jump in that guy right in there right away, but I just don't think any of these older dudes, more established fighters are going to be in any hurry to fight him unless they know that there is serious money in there with them, or, you know, that they're in a position where they have a belt and they have no choice. The most realistic guy to take the challenge from Jaron Ennis is Errol Spence Jr., just because it seems to be that's how Errol Spence Jr. rolls. But even there, I don't know if the powers or be are going to be willing, going to say, yeah, let's throw Jaron in there with him, or throw Errol in with him, while, you know, we can still grow both fighters and do it that way. But anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.